first start with Affinity Designer, you're going to want to make a new file. You might have to click a couple of screens the first time you open it to get to here. Now, Affinity Designer does a really nice job with this because the two presets that we will use the most will be either A3 or A2, and it'll put in the exact sizes right away for you. So in this case, we're going to be working on the board game, which is exactly the same size as A3, so we'll go with that. For the box or the cards, you'll need to go with A2 just to give yourself more space. And then there's a couple of things we want to make sure. So we want to make sure that we've got the correct measurements. We want to make sure that the dots per square inch are at least 300, and that is going to make sure that we have the high enough quality when you print out your board games. You're going to want to make sure that it is in landscape mode. And then down here, this is very important, RGB is red, green, blue. That is how colors show up on computer screens. But as we're going to print this out, we need to change this to CMYK, which stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and key, or black. And that is how printers print things out. So to make sure the colors match on the screen and when we print things out, we need it to be CMYK. And then you're going to click Create. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to import your sketches or your best sketches into Affinity Designer so you can use them to help guide your design efforts. So you'll need to make sure you have the sketches downloaded as image files, and then what you can do is you can open them up. Now when you open them, and then you'll see here, if I go to my downloads, there is my board game right there, okay? And so now the thing about this is it's imported this image of my board game, but you can see there's a couple of problems. One is it's not rotated correctly, and the other one is that I have no idea if this is the right size. So what I'm going to do, if you can look over here, in this tab, here is my correctly sized workspace. So what I need to do is I need to copy it and paste it in the correct workspace. So to do that, I'm going to use this move tool over here, and then I'm going to click on my image. And you'll notice as soon as I click, I get a whole bunch of other tools up here. I'll show you that again. If I click off here to the side, my bounding box goes away, and I have settings up here where I can change my preferences and document settings. But if I click on the box, I now get different tools. This is called the context toolbar, and this will change for each tool that you pick. And that's where you can have, that's where the magic happens for a lot of these tools. So in this particular case, I'm now going to go Command C to copy it, and I'm now going to go over here and I'm going to go Command V. So now I have my my image over here, and with my move tool still selected, I can click on any of these nodes and I can change the size of it, and I can also click on my rotation button here and I can rotate it. Now, if I want to rotate it 90 degrees exactly, I can hold down the Shift key and then click and rotate, and what it'll do is it'll rotate it 15 degrees. The Shift key is going to come up a lot in these tutorials because when you hold the Shift key, it lets you move things more accurately. So now what I want to do is I want to line this up here with the top left-hand corner of my page. Right now it doesn't line up. And that's because I've got something called snapping turned off. So what I want to do is I want to turn it on. And to do that, I'm going to go up here to my top toolbar. These tools don't change. These will be the same no matter what tool you're using. And I'm going to click on my magnet. If I click on the little down arrow here, it will give me my snapping options, but I would just leave them as the defaults. And now you'll see what happens when I get up here. Boom, it snaps into place. And now I can just drag out the corner here and whoops, and it'll snap into place. And now I've got my background. Now you'll notice now I've added the image, I've got what's called a layer over here called the background. I can turn it off by clicking this box. I can turn it back on. And as you add new elements to your design, they will all show up here as layers, and we'll do more work with layers later. And the important thing to do is make sure you name them all. Okay, so to name them all, you can just double click on it, and I'm going to call this the sketch. And now what I'm going to do is add more layers on top of this sketch to do my drawings on, and I want to make sure I don't accidentally move it. So to make sure I don't move it, what I'm going to do is click over here. I'm going to have it selected. I can tell it's selected because it's got the bounding box, and I'm going to click on the lock icon. So now no matter what I do until I unlock it, I can't move it. So that's the first tutorial. That's how just to get yourself started so you can start to build your design in Affinity Designer.